Morning. I'm Mike from West Creek Paintball, and see, there's a lot of people asking questions about how to open a pro shop, and this is my little video to you guys to give you an idea of what you're going to expect to see and do if you're going to open one. So bear with me and follow along. Okay, I'm going to go over some of the things you need to spend money on. So break out your pens and pencils, whatever it is, and start taking notes. Definitely recommend you guys that are looking to open a paintball store have at least $20,000 at your disposal. No kidding. It's nice to have more, but at least have 20K. So here's some of the things that you'll need, okay, to spend your money on, guaranteed. Inventory, that goes without saying. First month's rent. Security deposit for the place that you're getting, you know, a unit that you've rented. Sometimes they're going to ask for your 3 months rent ahead of time, you know, 2 months rent, you know, things like that. Advertising, that's something you could slip in there. You may not have to do it, but it's nice to have it to get you started. Insurance. Every business that I ever went into or know of has business insurance, so you're definitely going to have to get that. Deposit on utilities, you know, if you have a gas bill or if you have any other types of utilities, water, electric, things like that, you may have to put a deposit on that as well. Phone installation and setup, you know, you're going to have to spend money on that. Legal and accounting fees, again, a lawyer and an accountant, they come in handy when you open a business. I would recommend those two types of people to help you. Sales supplies, you know, like pens, pencils, scotch tape, staplers, scissors, little things that, you know, paperwork, that kind of thing you want to do. Improvements to the shop that you're getting, like for instance, if you get a unit that used to be a beauty parlor or a pizza place, you're going to have to remove some of the things that, you know, are in there. They're not going to do that for you. You're going to have to pay for the renovations of whatever unit that you've rented. So look into that. Make that your choice of where you decide to plant your business. You know, equipments and fixtures. Again, cabinets, lit cabinets, register counter, which, you know, I'm sitting at now. Slat wall. You know, something to put up the inventory on. Slat wall hooks. You know, these aren't free. You're gonna have to buy something like this. You know, register your trade name, which means get your business license. I should really have mine displayed on the wall, but you need your business license. This is New Jersey's business license. You need that. So, you know, you count on that being an expense. License and permits. You may need to get a CO, which is a certificate of occupancy for your particular unit or rental place that you've decided to get involved in. Alarm system, very handy. Sign on the outside of your store. Typically, the place that you rent will not make you a sign. They're not going to turn around and go, "Oh, paintball store, well, let's make a paintball sign." You are going to have to contact a place that makes signs and have your sign built. You know, if it's Accurate Paintball or, you know, West Creek Paintball, whatever store name you decide, you're going to have to make a sign and a logo so it's catchy, so people go, "Oh, let's check this paintball store out." So that's going to cost you some money. Painting, you know, the inside of the building, all these different things that you know, go along with setting up. And again, that's just the tip of the iceberg. That's only a small amount of expenses that you have to incorporate into your startup costs. You definitely have to know how much you're going to spend before you do it. Don't go in blindly and just guess. Definitely, you know, break out the piece of paper, the calculator, and write down what all these things are going to cost you and come up with a total and see if it's good for you or not. You know, if it's way too much money for you, well, save up. Put away some money every year for a couple years, and maybe you can have, you know, enough money by that time. But definitely budget, because the worst thing you could ever do, being a young person, I mean, I'm obviously doing this for the younger crowd that's always interested in getting into paintball. Worst thing you can do is save up a bunch of loot, spend it for nothing, and then have, you know, have a failure. So definitely budget. Budget is very important, if not the most important thing to do before you start your business. You have to find a location, mainly on a very high traveled road is the best way to do it. Because a lot of cars will pass by your store, and if you have a big enough sign, just the passerbys will be able to see that you're open. It's the best way to advertise without spending a lot of money, is to have a very good location on a road that's highly traveled. So the location is very important. I always say location is the key to business. So what you want to do is definitely find a location that's best for you, and you know, you can do that research. Alright, once you found your location and you settled things with your landlord, figured out how much rent is going to be, sign a contract for a certain amount of years, because most people that are renting to you are going to ask you to sign a contract saying, hey, you have to stay here for 4 years and pay X amount of dollars for that many years to stay in that location. So make sure you negotiate a pretty good lease if you're leasing. And if you're buying, well, if you're buying, you don't really need my help, because if you're buying, you already know what you're doing. But nevertheless, get yourself settled. Make sure you have the proper lease set up. A lawyer helps, but they're expensive. And sign that lease and take care of business and get yourself started. Now, in a business like this, you need fixtures. Inventory is last on your list to pick up. That's usually the final touches to your business, to get started. But what you need is the core of your business, which is fixtures like lighting. You need a register, that you could pick up at a Staples or a Home Depot sometimes, depending on where you live. But you need a register. You need cabinets, something like a register cabinet. You can decorate it with stickers, as I have done. You need cabinets, preferably lit cabinets. Cabinets that are lit are very nice. The customer can see the inventory, so they're expensive. I mean, something like that is about $900. Yeah, so it's a lot of money. Or if you find it cheaper or used, that's a good thing too. I wound up finding those cabinets for a steal, so I was lucky. But you have to go through and you have to buy the slat wall, which is the stuff that all the inventory is hanging on. That's expensive too and heavy. And it has to be delivered, so there'll be delivery charges. Tons and tons of different expenses. But you have to get all those things. Lighting is a nice touch. That's Home Depot lighting, $50 a strand, not a big deal. But that's what you have to invest in. That's the big core. If the carpet isn't down on the rug or whatever the heck, if the carpet's not in on the building you purchased, you have to buy carpet and have someone lay the carpet. So, I could be here for hours telling you all the little things besides inventory to pick up before you start a business. You can start small, one register cabinet, one glass case. But it's best if you are going to open a business to make sure that it looks very professional right away instead of having to build on it, because people are weird like that. But yeah, buy the fixtures and all the different retail things that make a business run, and then we're going to think of it. Then we're going to think about inventory. All right, moving right along. Now, you're going to need to be able to accept credit cards, and this is tricky. You have to find a merchant service company, and you actually have to buy a credit card machine. And credit card machines can run anywhere from $100 to $600-700. So basically, what you have to do is you have to look in the phone book or look somewhere else to find a merchant service company. And the merchant services will set you up. They'll teach you how to set your equipment up. But finding the right merchant service and finding the right plan, because every time you swipe your credit card on the credit card machine, there's a certain processing fee. Again, a business expense. So make sure that you find a good processor. Make sure you find one that'll help you. But yeah, the credit card processing starts with a merchant service company.